So anytime you have a new design and you're bringing power to it for the first time, there's always that sense of, first light, especially on on a project that requires fairly decent amount of current. In this case, it's a motor controller, which is notorious for requiring lots of current. This is 48 volts, which is 48 volts. It can handle up to 10 amps, so almost 500 watts of power delivering to the motors. And so being able to control that without giving off much of any heat at all, it's not noticeable with this circuit. It runs cool to the touch. There's always certain aspects that, when you're like I said, when you get new boards and you're applying power, is this thing going to work, or is something going to cause all the smoke to come out? So just roughly, just putting the circuit in perspective, this is a reverse voltage circuitry right here. This is the controller for driving the motors. You've got various things here like enable. You've got direction control, and you've got a throttle. And then a couple trim pots to adjust the throttle minimum and maximums. The circuitry over here regulates the voltage, the input voltage, from 48 volts to about 13.5 volts, and then further down to 5 volts to power the micro. The micro is just this little thing right here. That's the controller that basically receives the signals from everything and does all the work. So this design is for an ESC, electronic speed control, for a relatively high power motor, for moving pretty heavy industrial equipment on a dolly. So with a throttle control, being able to control this. So for testing purposes right now, I've got just a little trim pot here. But I showed the circuitry earlier on just a breadboard, solderless breadboard, and just in test mode. But this is the actual boards after they've come back, and I've populated the componentry and everything. Another feature that I wanted to point out, there is an RPM detection on the motors. So the purpose of this, let me see if I can turn the motor at the same time, cause it to come on. There's a blue light. I don't know if you see that. There's a blue light that comes on. It's just an indicator. That basically is on when the motors are spinning. And so the purpose of that is, say for instance, when you're switching direction, you don't want to switch directions while the motors are going one way at full speed. Otherwise, it's analogous to driving your car down the road and drive, and then all of a sudden, you switch it into reverse. It just doesn't end well. So it's really hard on the controller when you do stuff like that. So what this does is, even though you can actually switch the direction and the light comes on in order for switching the direction, when the motor is running, it will not switch direction if the motor is running. So it has to come to a complete stop before you switch directions on this motor. So it's just a safety precaution to minimize stress on the actual controller itself. So this, like I said, I've got 3 motors hooked up. One of them is 350 watts. The other one is, I think, about 50 watts. And then the other one is another 150 watts. So I've got 500 watts going to this thing. And the battery that I'm using is basically a big lithium 40 volt battery. Circuitry is actually designed for 48 volts, but and it will work up to that. This was handy as far as the 48 volt supply. So there's actually a little bit more overhead than the 40 volts that I'm supplying to it once I crank this up. But all 3 motors are going to run simultaneously when I adjust the throttle. So here that goes. Starts out. I can go really slow. Let's see. Back up. I can go really slow up to pretty fast, enough that it's moving the motor due to vibration traveling on me. But that's a pretty stout motor. The 135 watt motor is basically a souped up scooter motor. It's it's a good size. I mean, my hand, I mean, it basically can wrap around it pretty easily. Good solid motor. But to be able to control a motor like that, even ironically, when you're controlling a motor like that at slow speeds, let me see if I can get it. At slow speeds, that's when your MOSFETs actually stress the most and are, prone to getting, hot at those speeds. Being able to control it slow. When you do full throttle, the MOSFETs are like wide open, completely on, and it's not as much stress on them. But when you're controlling the speed and trying to control it in a precision amount where it's just a little bit, then that's usually when things start getting warm and stuff. But this, I can let this run all day at various speeds, and these MOSFETs run cool. I'm a firm believer that if the MOSFETs are hot or that require a heat sink, then there's something in the design that's not right, because when they're giving off heat, you're giving off energy. You're giving off energy in the form of heat that should otherwise be directed to the motor itself, not as heat to a heat sink. I think that's a lazy approach if you using a heat sink. Anyway, that's just a personal opinion. I've done some pretty big motors in my time, and all of them are kind of the same way. If you're not driving them correctly and the MOSFETs are getting hot, then there's other issues that are going on that you need to address. So anyway, that's my deal as far as that. Now, like I said, I'm doing this for a client based on his requests and certain criteria that he wanted. Is kind of how this came to fruition as far as me putting this together. But I think he's going to be pretty happy with it. But I just want to share, what I was working on, and what it takes sometimes, as far, like I said, with first light, when you're first turning something on, you never know what's going to happen right off the bat. I mean, even you can design out the wazoo for something, but if you don't ease into the power requirements, sometimes it can be catastrophic. As far as if you missed a little something, or if the simulation that you didn't quite match to ideal or the real world, something was a little bit off. It can really kind of avalanche on the effect of the overall output. So anyway, thanks for watching.